We're into the second semester in the West Bloomfield School District in the 2023-2024 academic year, which means for parents, it's time to start thinking about next school year, including those that are going to be bringing their kids into the West Bloomfield School District and into their K-12 education for the first time. Kindergarten Roundup is coming up at the end of January, Wednesday, January 24th at West Bloomfield Middle School for prospective parents and students to learn more about kindergarten programs in the West Bloomfield School District and get introduced to some of their school officials, their teachers, and some other families joining them on this educational journey. Joining us now to talk about Kindergarten Roundup is Jen Teal, who is the principal of Gretchko Elementary School. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks so much for having me. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, and thanks for joining us on the program. Kindergarten Roundup is an important event for parents and for students alike, and even for the educators, really everybody involved in the K-12 journey. That journey often starts for the majority of these students and these families that are with the school district all throughout at Kindergarten Roundup. So we know it's happening Wednesday, January 24th, 6:30 p.m. Is when the doors will be opening and registration will begin at West Bloomfield Middle School. But what exactly is Kindergarten Roundup? What resources are available there?
This is a great evening. We're really excited to host. It's a district-wide event, and the goal is really to welcome in all of our new and returning families, whether it's a family who has an oldest child who is a kindergartner and they're starting the school experience for the first time, or perhaps they are ending their family's journey with a kindergartner at the end. And it's an evening where we're really trying to make sure that we give families the information that we know that they kind of want this time of year. So we will have tables out front, kind of in an open house style, where families can walk around and talk to people, everything from transportation and food services, learn a little bit about some of the different programs we have in the buildings. Our parent-teacher organizations will be represented that evening, as well as before and after care, and some of those details that parents are often wondering about. And then we'll be inviting families into the auditoria at the middle school so that we can tell them a little bit about what to expect for kindergarten, what that process looks like, tell them a little bit about our curriculum, and then also give them some hints on some things that they can work on to help their kiddo get ready for kindergarten between now and next August and September when we start a new school year.
So Jen, is this required for parents or for students to attend in order to get into the K-12 program next year on time?
It does not. I will say that it's very helpful. We will have registration on site so that families, if you just bring your driver's license, you can start the registration process. If you're a resident in the West Bloomfield School District, you can start your registration right that night, which is really convenient. Life is so busy and there's so much going on. It's a nice opportunity to just kind of get things rolling. All of our enrollment process does happen online, and we understand some families may not be able to make it, and they can certainly go through that process through the WBSD website instead. But it's a great place to get to know some of the other families with incoming kindergartners and get the information and questions answered that families may have as they begin that process.
You can find more information on Kindergarten Roundup on WBSD.org or by following the West Bloomfield School District on Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools. Joining us on the program today is Jen Teal, the principal of Gretchko Elementary School, as we get ready for Kindergarten Roundup for the 2024-2025 academic year. That will be Wednesday, January 24th at West Bloomfield Middle School, located at 6000 Orchard Lake Road in West Bloomfield Township. The registration for the event and initial mixer will be at 6:30 with the details in a presentation in the auditoria beginning right around 7 o'clock p.m. Again, more information on WBSD.org. And Jen, you mentioned all the important resources and suggestions and an opportunity to meet the teachers and the principals that parents have by attending Kindergarten Roundup. What benefits are there for the kids also being there on Roundup night?
For students that evening, for families who want to bring their kids with, we will have childcare. That evening is definitely an adult structured evening, but we're going to have some fabulous National Junior Honor Society and National Honor Society students from our middle and high school providing some childcare in the media center over at the middle school that evening for families who need to bring their kiddos along. And then later in the spring, families will get to look forward to bringing their student to their local elementary school that they are zoned for, and they'll have a chance for their child and for them to see the school at that time. But we understand that there will probably be a handful of kiddos that evening getting to hang out in what will be their middle school one day. So they'll get a nice sneak peek at the fabulous new West Bloomfield Middle School, as well as a chance to meet a couple of other friends who may be attending the same school that they attend.
And Jen, you've been working in elementary education in the West Bloomfield School District for a short period of time, but you've been in education in our local area for a number of years. So you've experienced this before. So from an educator's standpoint, how beneficial is it to meet these parents and these kids kind of in advance before they're coming in to start their educational journey? How can that benefit our educators next fall, meeting these parents on Wednesday, January 24th?
It's a great question. One of the biggest and most important things that we do is partner with families, especially in those elementary years. Our kiddos are spending a lot of time at school every day, and so having those really positive and exciting relationships with families is a big part of the success of our students. And I think one of the key parts and the benefits of attending the kindergarten experience on the 24th will be that parents kind of have an understanding of what to expect, and that they can then help their child get ready for those kindergarten expectations. For so many kiddos, there are a little bit of nerves around kindergarten. They're not quite sure what it's going to be like. And I think it helps when an adult in the family kind of knows what's going to happen and what to expect, and they can help make that a really smooth transition and already begin building some of those relationships and having those familiar faces, so that on that first day of school, when they arrive, there's a face that they recognize and a smile that they've seen before, so that we can get kiddos off to a terrific start for the school year.
And what other opportunities beyond the Kindergarten Roundup, you sort of touched on this a little bit earlier, are available in the coming months as we approach August? Because this is a big night. It's still several months away from when registration begins to get down to the wire in the school district, and certainly several months away from when these kids will be starting their kindergarten journeys. But what other opportunities are available, especially if parents and kids are not able to attend in January?
There are two opportunities, really. The main one that we'll focus on is in May. Each of our elementary schools will be providing an opportunity where we will invite in each of our kindergarten students for what we call a kindergarten screener, just so that we can get to know each child a little bit, understand what previous school experiences they might have had, some of the things that they love to do, and what makes them each a unique individual. And at that time, families will be able to join for a tour of the building, so that they also get to see their local elementary school, if perhaps this is a first kiddo coming through the West Bloomfield School District, and they'll get to see the building. And if for some reason that doesn't work, or if families want to reach out, they are always welcome to reach out to their local school main office, and they can request a tour if they would like to do that, and have a chance to see the school and meet the principal and kind of see the school in working order. We're looking forward to those screener dates in May being when school is in session, so that families and kids will get a sense of the hustle and bustle that makes school exciting when kids are present.
More information can be found on getting in contact with each of our local elementary schools in the West Bloomfield School District by visiting WBSD.org. That's also a great place to go to find more information on Kindergarten Roundup. In addition, you can find more resources, information, and special events upcoming in the West Bloomfield School District on their Facebook page at West Bloomfield Schools. Joining us to talk about Kindergarten Roundup and these upcoming programs in the West Bloomfield School District is Jen Teal, the principal of Gretchko Elementary School on the Splash Live. Jen, as we wrap up, anything else that we should know about this Kindergarten Roundup event that we haven't touched on, or other important information or potential questions that parents should maybe come to this event ready to get answered or ready to ask of our educators and our other officials from the school district?
I think probably the only thing I would add is it's helpful to just think ahead of time about what your situation will be like in the fall. So, thinking about whether you might need before and after care for your child, starting to think about whether your child is going to be riding a bus or whether they might walk to school with you. Those kinds of details can be helpful so that you are able to ask those questions when you are on site with people who can help. And like I said, we really want to encourage people to bring their identification, their driver's license, so that they can start that registration process right away and get into our system. There will be our enrollment office staff on site so that we can begin that process and start making those great connections with our families.
More information can be found on Kindergarten Roundup on WBSD.org. Once again, Wednesday, January 24th, 6:30 p.m. for some information and initial sign-up to get into the event, get your information to the school district, and then the presentation at 7 o'clock. 6000 Orchard Lake Road at the West Bloomfield Middle School. Jen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.